Hello guys and welcome to this episode of the Top Order Podcast. In today's episode, we will be reviewing the IPL, previewing the T20 World Cup, previewing the Ashes, and previewing the Big Bash. Let's get into it.
Now I've got the player of the week. Our player of the week is Travis Head with a mammoth 230 runs in the one-day comp. Off 127 deliveries with a strike rate of 180. Player of the match performance and got his team over the line.
Highest ever Marshall One Day Cup score, or second highest?
I think one of the highest.
Pretty good.
And a special shout out to Mark Steckety with 7 for 44 of 26.4 overs, and that was class bowling from him.
Yeah, he was bowling really well. He was bowling quick.
I didn't believe it when I read it. I was like, surely that's over 2 innings or something.
And that was in the Sheffield Shield as well, so that's the 4-day competition.
And it was against Travis Head, who's in fine form.
Yep. The IPL.
Yeah,
Chennai, good win.
Yeah. Joshy Hazelwood, good to see an Australian in contributing in a big match. 3 for 19 off 4 overs. Well bowled from him.
Yep, it was class performance from Josh.
Faf du Plessis, man of the match with 86 runs. Well batted to him.
Top performances in the IPL this season. KL Rahul with the orange cap, which is the leading run scorer. It's a good effort by him.
Yeah.
Then we've got the green cap, the leading wicket taker, Harsha Patel.
Yeah.
Right on medium pacer. And I think it's just, these different variations on the slow pitches. Worked really well.
Good signs for the Indians.
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah.
And the surprise of Josh Hazelwood, he actually had a good IPL season.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole competition, he had an economy of about 7, which is really good, and taking 2 or 3 wickets each game, so it was really good and consistent from him.
And so Glenn Maxwell, he had a good big bash.
Yep.
I mean, IPL.
Good IPL.
He finished 5th in the run tally.
Yeah.
And good form heading into the World Cup.
Contributed with the ball a little bit as well.
Speaking of which, World Cup.
Starting tomorrow, the qualifying matches are tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then starts on the 23rd.
Yeah. How do you think the pitch and the conditions are going to play in the UAE?
Well, I think we've seen from the IPL that it's going to be very similar pitches, same stadiums, and it's very slow pitches, a bit dry, and they're deteriorating. So, I don't know, I think it's going to be a very low scoring World Cup. Although, we did see in the IPL final, we saw 192 runs scored by Chennai. That was, much thankful to Faf du Plessis, but I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
A lot of the professionals were talking about it, so like Ricky Ponting and stuff was also quite worried about it, and all the coaches are a bit worried about the pitches, but after the performance by Chennai, looks like the pitches are going to not be as bad as they thought.
It'll be depending on the batters, how well they want to bat.
I think that just changes the, the favourites for the T20 World Cup, because if it is spinning, like Australia's, I don't know, we're going to have to play very well. You're going to have to, Maxwell play a massive hand if it is spinning a lot. But then, teams could surprise people, like Bangladesh. Bangladesh, if it's spinning, then they could beat any team in the comp, So
like
I think...
Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria are playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I think, it'll be interesting.
The big thing is there's a lot of pressure on Josh Inglis. He's a debutant in a T20 World Cup. We're expecting him to come in and score runs from the get-go.
Yes.
And say he starts with a couple of really low scores, like 2 innings of 10. That's going to be playing in the back of his mind for the rest of the World Cup.
Which brings us to our starting 11 predictions for Australia. What do you reckon?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's going to be a pretty...
Finch, Warner, Mitch Marsh.
Yeah, Mitch Marsh has been confirmed that he will keep his number 3 spot.
Which I think is really good, because I think his power... And he can damage teams early, and he's a player who can just change the whole game for Australia. So I think he's going to be one of our vital players when it comes to scoring runs.
Then I think Steve Smith at number 4.
Yep, Steve Smith.
Yep. Glenn Maxwell, 5.
Yeah, I think you put him at number 5, then maybe
Stoinis.
I'll tell you what, it was good to see Stoinis, even though Delhi lost. He came back in for their final game. So that was good to see Ricky Ponting putting some faith in him after his injury. Coming back in and playing in a big game, even though they did lose. It was nice to see him back out there, so hopefully we can see him in the World Cup team.
It is good.
Then we got Josh Inglis at the number 7.
Well, see, that'll be interesting, because it'll be interesting whether they do go with the debutant in the World Cup or Matthew Wade.
The experience.
Neither of them have played much cricket, although Josh Inglis played in the 100 in England. So it'll be interesting who gets that spot as the keeper.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. And then we've got a fairly good bowling lineup.
Yeah.
Paceman.
Yeah.
Cummins. Stark. Then you're going. Who
Richardson.
Are you picking?
Kane Richardson.
I'm going Kane Richardson because of the slower pitches.
Yeah.
Because of the
He's
slower.
got some nice
you know,
variables.
all these variations. You know, I think he's going to be a big player for Australia. I think he's going to take a lot of wickets and he's going to do really well. I think he has to do really well at the death to limit teams, and I think he will because of the types of pitches that are going to be available.
Yeah, and we've got two good spinners in Ash Agar and
Adam
Zampa.
Zampa. I think Adam Zampa's going to play a role.
He has to play a role, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
every other team will have their good spinner for these
Yeah.
pitches.
So I think a lot of it's going to be like different teams reading the pitch as well, because it's going to be depending on what, like Australia, if we go in with Ashton Agar and Adam Zampa, then essentially we've got 3 spinners with Maxwell. But if we only send in 2 spinners, as in the part-time of Maxwell and Zampa, and it's a really spinny pitch, that might not go so well
So
for
it'll
us.
come down to good team
I
selection.
think team selection is going to be a big part in it.
But Mike Hussey put out a statement the other day. He does have confidence that Australia can do the job.
Yeah, a lot of the players are quite confident in this squad as well. A lot of them saying, you know, they're quite confident in the squad that they have. Yeah.
I think we have confidence in them as well. I mean, we've seen them play well. I mean,
I think if we were on Australian pitches,
Oh,
I'd be a lot more confident because
Yeah, that's true.
it's harder.
Like it was
and-
going to be.
Yeah, next year.
next year.
Next year.
But yeah, it'll be. I think Australia's going to do well, and we've got a lot of individuals in pretty good form.
Yeah.
In Mitch Marsh and
You know what is-
Stark's back bowling quickly. So.
it's good to see.
You know what is going to be in Australian pitches?
What?
Is the Ashes.
Coming up soon. And it's on. as you
It's
said.
on.
And they are coming.
And the English have announced their squad.
Yep.
Yes.
Who wants to read us through it? Tim?
Well, we've got James Anderson, Johnny Bairstow, Don Best, Stuart Broad, Rory Burns, Josh Butler, Zach Crawley, Hasib Hamid, Dan Lawrence, Jack Leach, David Milan, Craig Overton, Ollie Pope, Ollie Robertson, Joe Root as captain, Chris Wokes and Mark Wood. No Stokes or Jofra.
Well, we've seen some footage of Stokes coming out and just having a bit of a
Bit of a hit.
bat for the first time in months
Yeah,
after
definitely.
taking an indefinite break from cricket.
Do you
So
think it's mental health.
mental health and but I think if Ben Stokes comes back into the squad and he's playing well, that I don't know. I think Australia are easy favourites right now. I think the confidence we have within our team, even though we haven't played much Test cricket, I think England have played 18 Test matches in the last 18 months, whereas Australia have only played
A few.
a few.
Against India.
But I still think Australia has a lot more confidence in the England team. But if we do see Ben Stokes come back into that squad,
It'll change it up a
Yeah.
lot.
it'll change the whole dynamic. I think,
Yeah.
A lot of backlash against this squad as well, like from the Aussies.
I
They're
think
not confident in this squad and pretty confident in Australia's squad.
fair enough. James Anderson though, he's going into his fourth I think, Ashes tour. But I think he's getting old. He's like 39 now. But I think Australian pitches are a lot different to English pitches. Like we say how good of a bowler he is, but that is with cloudy conditions, softer grassier pitches, the Duke ball, which swings a whole lot more. Whereas, and then the first test is at the Gabba, where it's a hard pitch and it's just a batting paradise. I think if we can get on top early there and win, which we will win because we don't lose the Gabba, we'll take a 1-0 lead going to the rest of the test series.
if we win, we do take a 1-0 lead. So
Thank you.
I think it'll be interesting. I do agree with that. I don't think the England bowlers are going to be as good as they were against, say, New Zealand or India, who they have just previously versed in the English summer. And they had a lot of good players, but it'll be interesting what happens after the World Cup, especially with players quarantining. They're going to be exhausted after going straight from IPL to World Cup and then into a big Ashes series.
Yeah, it's good.
And there's been some backlash by the Barmiani. Some bit of sledging.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. It started.
Tim Payne is responding. They're
Tim
in
Payne
Tim
is
Payne's
responding.
mind, whereas Tim Payne in their mind.
Oh, who knows?
They're both.
Jimmy Anderson wasn't happy with Tim Payne's response.
He needs to keep it respectful.
Yeah, stating that since one of their players is already out for mental health, Ben Stokes, well, if things going to be out, then it's not It's not the smartest idea to be going
I think
backlashing like that, but that's
we
the
like
Ashes.
It. We like it from me as a captain, but I think the main thing is to win this Ashes is our batsmen do have to step up. We can't just rely on Smith or Labuschagne to score a ton every innings.
Yeah.
We actually need to score runs.
And I'll tell you what has come out this week is Pekoski did have another head knock,
Yes.
which isn't great because it's been about his 10th concussion in the last 2 or 3 years. But hopefully we can see him come back, and they've said that he should be good for Victoria's first Shield game.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can get back in the routine of scoring runs.
On the bright side, Travis Head, with his outstanding knock and his good form in the Sheffield Shield, is he a chance to be that number 5 spot?
I personally, I think he is. He scored a 50, he scored 100, and then he got 230 in the one day.
And then he scored 50 in the Sheffield.
Yeah, so that's around 400 runs just in the last 2 weeks. He's in great form, and if he can keep that form, going into the Ashes, I think he's a great chance of taking that number 5 spot.
But Tim Payne said the other day, Tim Payne himself, the Australian captain, said Marcus Harris right now is the front runner for opening with Warner.
So is Marcus Harris? Marcus Harris is another left-hander, isn't he?
What do we
So
think?
2 left-handers opening. I'm not sure about that.
That seems interesting to me. I think if Pekoski's fit, and unless Harris scores heaps of runs against...
it's not like Pekoski was playing bad.
Exactly, so I think... And like neither of them have played much cricket at all. I don't think either of them went over into the English summer. So
no, Harris did. He scored a fair few runs.
He scored a fair few runs. Yeah, it'd be interesting though. I mean, they have just... Pekoski debuted last summer, played 1 test, then got injured, was it?
Got a 50.
He played against India a couple summers ago.
Last summer. Anyway. I think Pekoski's gonna open.
Yeah,
if he's fit, I think Pekoski's gonna open.
And that right-hand, left-hand combination as well.
Yeah, and then we got Labuschagne, Smith, and then who are we putting number 5?
Headers.
Headers
At
the moment.
And then Green.
Cameron Green.
Tim Payne.
Pat
Pat Cummins. Mitchell Stark. Nathan Lyon. Josh Hazelwood.
Yep. Strong team.
That is a strong team. There's not many weaknesses there.
And I also think the confidence within the team will be really good because it's a very similar team to last summer, which I think means that there's a lot more confidence within the team. People are going to keep their spots, and if that happens,
I
think players will play with more confidence.
There's a bit of pressure though on Justin Langer.
Yeah, that is true.
So he needs to lead his team.
Agreed.
Yes. BBL.
Starting up in a...
5th of December it starts.
5th of December.
5th of December, nice
There we go,
this year.
start date.
Get pumped. But the big announcement during the week,
Yep.
no DRS.
No DRS.
Yeah.
Do you like it or dislike it?
I mean, personally, I would like to see DRS in the BBL because there have been some shocking calls over the past few seasons. I think that could easily have been reviewed, but I don't think. I think it's because of COVID that this isn't happening and the borders crossing and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's too hard for the...
I agree.
They have to quarantine.
Yeah, I find what they're saying is they're saying that if they have to quickly change games, move games, say no fans at stadiums and stuff, it's just going to change how DRS is going to be used. So I think they will bring it in next year. What I would like to see is sometimes you can just tell from the instant replay whether it's out or not.
Yeah.
So I think they should bring that in.
Eye.
Or just from your plain eye, you can tell.
That's what the umpires
There were some shocking calls where apparently some people hit the ground instead of hitting the ball when it was a cut shot or something. But I think they could just have an instant replay also just to. I think that'll clear up some of the really, really poor calls. But apart from that, I do see where they're coming from.
The itchy nose incident.
Yeah.
So they're not allowing instant replays.
Not as of right now. I think they should, but because I understand why they're not doing DRS because the BBL might have to move anywhere depending on how with COVID.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like the truck would have to quarantine everywhere in every state and stuff.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the instant replay. I hope they bring it in, but I don't think they will.
Yeah. The women's Big Bash has kicked off.
Yep.
Has
Sydney Sixers put off a good win, rain delay affected win.
Yeah,
they did. Strikers got a win last night.
Yeah, and Hurricanes and Strikers are currently battling out.
Yeah.
Hurricanes and Sixers, but yep.
What did I say?
Strikers.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today on the Top Water Podcast.
We'll look to have an update on the T20 World Cup games next week or in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.
Alright, ready?
Wait, I need to read through this. I haven't actually read through it.
Alright. Hello guys and welcome to this episode of the Top Water Podcast. Guys and welcome to this episode of the Top Water Podcast.
Shut the door.
We don't need to drink it and then put it down at the same time. And just us putting it down.
No, I don't feel like Jack. Okay, we've been so good. You guys have been so good. Are you guys serious? Okay, stop. You've been. Oh, Zach. Come on.
Our best one's
I reckon in this setup, I'm feeling with this